Hello everyone, I'm Aratrika Bhaumik and I welcome you all to another episode of Courts Today on LiveLaw, where we update you about all the important legal developments that took place today. We will begin with developments from the Supreme Court and then cover High Courts and other lower courts. The Enforcement Directorate has filed a petition in the Supreme Court seeking to transfer the trial in the gold smuggling case from Kerala to Karnataka. The transfer is sought for the money laundering case in relation to the smuggling of gold through diplomatic channels. The agency said that free and fair trial of the case is not possible in Kerala due to the close nexus between the accused and top officials and functionaries in the Kerala government. One among the accused is M. Sivashankar, an IAS officer of Kerala cadre who was the principal secretary to the Chief Minister of Kerala. The murder of a Haryana Deputy Superintendent of Police by mowing him down with a dumper truck while he was inspecting illegal mining was mentioned before the Supreme Court today. DSP Surinder Singh was run over by the truck which he had tried to stop on receiving a tip-off about carrying illegally mined stones. Senior Advocate A.D.N. Rao, who has been appointed as an amicus curiae by the Supreme Court in the cases related to illegal mining in Aravalli Hills, mentioned the matter before a bench led by Justice A.M. Khanwilkar, which is monitoring the mining operations in the region. The amicus curiae requested the bench to call for an action report from the state government on the illegal mining in the region, pursuant to which the bench agreed to consider the request. Today, when the plea regarding the allotment of chambers for Supreme Court lawyers was mentioned for urgent listing, Chief Justice of India N.V. Ramana said the lawyers in Delhi should consider themselves fortunate to get chambers as nowhere else lawyers are given chambers. The CJI also recalled his days as a lawyer and said, and I quote, "We used to stand under trees, you're fortunate to get chambers." The chambers of the Supreme Court advocates are allotted by a committee constituted by the Chief Justice of India, and the allotments have also to be approved by the CJI. Earlier this week, the Supreme Court's administrative branch published a list of 468 lawyers who have been allotted chambers in the Supreme Court. In a significant development, the Supreme Court today passed an ad interim order allowing an unmarried woman to abort her pregnancy of 24 weeks arising out of a live-in relationship subject to a medical board constituted by AIIMS Delhi concluding that the fetus can be aborted without any risk to the life of the woman. The court underscored that allowing the woman to suffer an unwanted pregnancy will be contrary to the object and spirit of the Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act 1971. A bench comprising Justices D.Y. Chandrachud, Surya Kant and A.S. Bopanna was considering the appeal filed by a 25-year-old unmarried woman seeking termination of her pregnancy of 23 weeks and 5 days against a Delhi High Court order refusing her the said relief. In the Gyanvapi mosque case, the Supreme Court today said that it will await the decision of the Varanasi District Court on the application filed by the Anjuman Intizamiya Masjid Committee, which manages the Gyanvapi mosque, questioning the maintainability of the suit filed by Hindu plaintiffs. Accordingly, the bench of Justices D.Y. Chandrachud, Surya Kant and P.S. Narasimha adjourned the special leave petition filed by the Masjid Committee challenging the civil court's orders for commissioning a survey of the mosque to the first week of October. The court also refused to entertain 2 writ petitions which were filed seeking right to worship the Shivling stated to be found inside the mosque premises during the survey and seeking its carbon dating and GPS survey. The Supreme Court today appointed Senior Advocate and former Additional Solicitor General Maninder Singh as an amicus curiae in the case relating to the administration of Board of Control of Cricket in India, that is BCCI. The bench of Chief Justice of India N.V. Ramana, Justices Krishna Murari and Hima Kohli appointed Senior Advocate Maninder Singh as the earlier amicus curiae in the matter. Senior Advocate P.S. Narasimha has been elevated as a Supreme Court judge. Accordingly, the court adjourned to August 28th the application filed by BCCI seeking to amend its constitution. The Supreme Court today granted liberty to the father of the student who allegedly died by suicide in Kalakurchi, Tamil Nadu, to withdraw a plea seeking inclusion of a doctor of his choice in the panel of doctors constituted for the re-post-mortem of the body. A division bench of Justices B.R. Gavai and P.S. Narasimha also granted liberty to the petitioner to move a fresh application before the Madras High Court. The girl had died in the premises of a private school over the alleged mistreatment by the school authorities. This was followed by violent protests in the area. The Delhi High Court today sought the response of the Delhi government in a plea seeking filling up of vacant posts of principal, vice principal and other teaching staff in a government-run school for blind students. A division bench comprising Chief Justice Satish Chandra Sharma and Justice Subramaniam Prasad during the hearing remarked that it is unfortunate, especially in the case of specially abled children, that the government is not taking appropriate steps. Accordingly, the court sought the response from the Secretary of Social Welfare, Department of the Delhi government and listed the matter for further hearing on 29th July. The Bombay High Court today wrapped a district-level cricket player seeking directions against Mumbai Cricket Association, BCCI and civic bodies for hygiene facilities like toilets, water pump, medical assistance on all public grounds. The division bench of Chief Justice Dipankar Datta and Justice M.S. Karnik said that cricket was not our game and that priority would be to ensure that there is water in villages. The court further asked the petitioner to explain if bodies like the MCA and the BCCI would come under the definition of state for directions to be issued against them. The Delhi High Court today issued notice on a woman complaints plea seeking cancellation of anticipatory bail granted to Rajasthan minister's son Rohit Joshi in an FIR registered against him at Sardar Bazar police station for the offences of rape, unnatural sex, etc. Rohit Joshi was granted anticipatory bail by the Sessions Judge of Tis Hazari Court on June 8 this year. The Kerala High Court today granted bail to journalist T.P. Nandakumar, who was arrested last month on charges of verbally abusing a former woman employee and allegedly forcing her to make a vulgar video. Nandakumar, more commonly known as Crime Nandakumar, is the chief editor of Crime magazine. Justice Ziad Rahman allowed the appeal moved by the journalist primarily because the complaint submitted by the victim did not contain details of several allegations. The Bombay High Court today urged the Maharashtra government to expeditiously respond to a plea seeking transfer of the murder investigation of slain communist leader Govind Pansare to the Maharashtra Anti-Terrorism Squad from the SIT. Justice Revati Mohite, heading the division bench, said that the court cannot wait endlessly and that the court expects a decision to be taken by August 1st. The court then granted the state time till August 1st to decide on whether or not it was agreeing for the transfer and to file a status report on the case. The Madras High Court today quashed an order of the government of Tamil Nadu sealing Sudha Hospital for their alleged involvement in the illegal sale of ovocytes from a 16-year-old girl. Sudha Hospital was shut down by the government of Tamil Nadu earlier this month after an alleged illegal sale of ovocytes of a minor girl using forged Aadhaar card. The court quashed the order after observing that the respondent authorities had failed to record in writing the reasons for suspending the registration of the clinic establishment without issuing any notice as was necessary under the existing law. The Bombay High Court today said that the Maharashtra government must adapt to the changing circumstances and make real effort to raise public awareness of the published volumes of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar and other social reformers and their original handwritten texts. A division bench of Justices Prasanna Varale and Kishore Sant observed that while the Maharashtra government has published wonderful volumes of the scriptures of several social reformers, there is little awareness about this in the public. The court in December last year had taken suo motu cognizance of the matter after a news report in a daily newspaper claimed that the Maharashtra government had stalled its project of publishing the writings of Ambedkar. The Delhi High Court today refused to entertain a public interest litigation seeking clean and hygienic supply of milk to Delhiites as a fundamental right under Article 21 of the Constitution of India. A division bench comprising Chief Justice Satish Chandra Sharma and Justice Subramaniam Prasad was apprised by the counsel appearing for the petitioner that the cattle in the city were dying on roads and were feeding on polythenes. The plea was subsequently withdrawn after the bench warned of imposing heavy costs on the petitioner. Thank you. Keep watching Courts Today for more such updates.